Today, we're going to look at a fascinating piece by Rob Kennedy that shines a light on some of the unsung heroes of the aviation world. We're talking about the folks behind the wheel on the ground, the ramp drivers. And you know what? It turns out this might just be the perfect next career for some of the most skilled drivers on our highways.
So, let's start with a question. What in the world could a massive 18-wheeler possibly have in common with a state-of-the-art 787 Dreamliner? I mean, one rules the highway, the other owns the sky. Seems like two totally different worlds, right?
Well, the answer is pretty simple, but it's so important. It's the person in the driver's seat. It's all about the pro who can handle a massive vehicle with razor-sharp precision, where every single move is all about safety. And that specific expertise? Well, that's the key that's unlocking a whole new career path for a lot of people.
And that brings us to what's happening right now. On one hand, you have the challenge. Thousands of really experienced long-haul truckers are finding themselves out of work because of things like tariff wars and supply chains getting all jumbled up. But on the other hand, there's this incredible opportunity. That exact skill set, handling big rigs, following the rules to a T, always knowing what's around you, it's exactly what's needed in the high-stakes world of an airport ramp. It's a perfect match.
So let's dive right in. First up, the high-stakes tarmac. And let me tell you, this is a world where precision is everything, and your experience behind the wheel really, really matters. Just try to picture it. It's like a mini-city where $100 million airplanes always, and I mean always, have the right of way. Speed limits are super strict, and one wrong turn doesn't just mean you're a little late. It could mess up a flight for hundreds of people. It's less like a road and more like a carefully choreographed ballet, where safety is the number 1, 2, and 3 priority. You know, the author of our source article, Rob Kennedy, he actually shares this great personal story. He talks about being just 16, driving his dad's delivery truck, and learning how incredibly hard it is to back it into tight spots, constantly checking the mirrors. That experience gave him a huge appreciation for the skills truck drivers use every single day. And that's exactly the kind of deep, baked-in experience we're talking about. Okay, next section. Let's talk about passenger transport. This is all about getting people where they need to go, safely. So what kind of jobs are we talking about? Well, they're all over the map. You could be driving an airport shuttle, a van for the flight crews, maybe even a private car for VIPs. Or you could be behind the wheel of one of those massive buses that takes 100 people out to a plane. You know the ones. Every single one of these roles is a blend of flawless driving and top-notch customer service. Now, if you're a long-haul driver used to being on the road, this might sound different, but the rhythm is surprisingly familiar. It's fast-paced, you've got to be focused, but it comes with one huge bonus. You get to use all those skills you've spent years building, and you still get to go home every night. All right, moving on to vehicle and crew transport. This is really the quiet backbone of the whole airport operation. This is where a trucker's skills just absolutely shine. That gut-level judgment that you only get from thousands of hours on the road, the built-in habit of following protocol, the almost magical ability to get a huge vehicle into a tiny space, yeah, that makes them pretty much the perfect candidates for this kind of work. Okay, up next, let's talk about galley and catering transport. And trust me, precision and caution are the key words here. Picture this. You're not just driving a big truck. You're operating a high-lift vehicle, raising it up to meet the galley door of an airplane perfectly. A tiny bump, just a little miscalculation, can cause tens of thousands of dollars in damage. The stakes are just incredibly high. The pressure's definitely on. And that's another reason why former long-haul drivers are such a natural fit for this. They're already masters of high-clearance vehicles. They get schedules, they respect what they're carrying, and they know how to handle a big rig. Honestly, moving from a highway trailer to a catering truck is a surprisingly smooth transition. They just get it. All right, let's move on to specialized transport. These are the real unsung heroes of airport logistics. These jobs require a massive amount of respect for the procedures and for people. We're talking about everything from servicing the lavatories and water tanks to driving the fuel trucks to operating the baggage tugs. And it even includes really sensitive jobs like transporting medical or mortuary cargo, which demands the absolute highest level of care and discretion. And think about it this way. A trucker who's hauled hazardous materials or time-sensitive perishable goods already has the exact mindset you need for these jobs. They understand regulations, they live by procedure, and they get how serious the task is. It's the same kind of discipline, just in a brand new setting. Okay, so maybe all this is starting to sound pretty interesting. You might be thinking, how do I actually get started? Well, let's talk about how your skills can take flight.
Here's your path to the ramp, broken down into 3 steps. First, you'll want to look for jobs with the airlines themselves, with airport authorities, or with big service contractors. Second, you'll have to pass some really serious security background checks and get certified in ramp safety. And third, what's the payoff? Well, it's not just a job, it's a real career with a path to grow into lead roles, dispatch, or even safety management.
All right, let's bring this all in for a land-in with our final approach. Let's talk about why your driving skill is such a huge career advantage. When you boil it all down, it comes to this. What airlines and airports want more than anything is professionalism. If you're a driver who respects the rules, who stays alert, and who treats every single task with care, you are an incredibly valuable asset. You're exactly who they're looking for. And if you remember just one thing from all of this, let it be these 6 words. In an industry that is built from the ground up on safety and precision, your proven skill as a safe, focused driver, well, that's your ticket in. It's the most valuable qualification you can possibly have.
So we'll leave you with a final question to think about. For all you skilled professionals out there on the highways, if you're looking for a new horizon, could the challenging, complex, and rewarding world of an airport runway be your next open road?